Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So you're in Alabama?
Yeah.
Is that where were you born and raised?
California. I'm from the West Coast. And then later in my 20s, I went to Vegas.
Okay.
I live
Okay.
in Vegas. I live in Vegas. I live in Alabama. I live all over the place.
And okay. Am I allowed to ask how old are you now? I don't know. Some people
I
get
am
sensitive.
20 something. No. I'm
Oh
40.
wow. Okay, that's great, man. You look
Yeah.
great. Good for
Thank you.
you. So when did you start fighting?
Started fighting in the street career started real young, and then I went off into competition probably 22 years old.
So you were fighting in the streets a lot growing up?
Yeah,
Girls, both guys, both? What?
both. Yeah, I hung around with my guy friends and my brothers and stuff like that. So if there was ever a problem there, I would help. They would try to keep me out of it, but I was stubborn and I would always try to help them. But
Um. Wow, that's cool.
and girls though.
And girls too? Yeah,
Yeah,
I can imagine. Oh, what's your ethnicity?
Hispanic and European.
I see a kid waving behind.
Oh yeah.
Hi. You're Hispanic. Okay, cool. And okay, so you said you were 22 when you first stepped into a gym?
Yeah, that started competing.
Okay. Okay. And what was the first thing you started competing? Like what discipline was it?
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you know, I often the bare knuckle thing to me is like I'm a former boxer, and the bare knuckle thing to me is like crazy. It, I respect people who do it because it's like, I mean, I think the only difference, tell me if I'm wrong here, is just so many more cuts, right? That's really the only difference?
Yeah, and I think you take less damage because you can't get hit as much. You're gonna get either too cut up or your hands. You're not gonna be able to. You know, you're not gonna be able to hit as hard to the face as you can with gloves. So it's less damage in your brain
It is, right.
in the long run.
You know what's funny? I have this argument all the time. People think that because sparring gloves in boxing are like 16s or 18s.
Yeah.
And I always argue that that's actually more damage for the brain because it's heavier, right?
Right. Yeah, it can. I think so. I get cracked in boxing and the bare knuckle. I mean, the bare knuckle. Like I can't take as many in bare knuckle as I could with the gloves because it just unless I get cut, like aesthetically, I think there's going to be a little bit more damage. But
So you,
those gloves just allow you to pound the head a little bit more.
right. Oh, your hands, you mean.
And your hands, yeah.
So do you get a lot of hand injuries?
I've got a couple, but in the last five fights, I haven't had any injuries at all.
Wow.
I think it's just about conditioning. All of us were used to fighting with gloves and super wrapped, and I've been doing this 5 years now. So I just been conditioning, 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 and now I don't break. I don't get injured. My swelling is minimal, even after fights. I still swell. You still get the swelling, but no breaks.
Yeah, and what do you guys do? You just wrap your hands in a fight and that's it?
You wrap two fingers down, so from the knuckles down, you get to wrap the wrist.
Oh, just the wrist.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some gangster shit, I'll tell you, man. No,
Hey,
that
gangsters
really,
it's in the heart, man. Like I love this, and I'm glad I'm gonna be ending my combat sports career through bare knuckle because it's like I did the toughest sport I believe in combat in the world. Besides maybe
right.
like what the Muay Thai one where they don't wear gloves either, and it's straight Muay Thai with no gloves. I think that one's probably a little bit more crazy because you're getting knees, elbows, kicks with bare knuckle.
Right.
I
Well,
forgot the name of it.
I guess like one of the main questions I thought about. What's that?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
What was that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. I guess you're cutting out a little bit too.
Oh,
Um, so I guess one of the questions I thought about was like, why didn't you go into actual boxing? Is there more money to be made in the bare knuckle, or what's the reason? Because when I watch you, you look like a straight up boxer. Like you're very good. Like you look like a fighter, like a boxer. So why not do boxing? You're cutting out. You must be in like a choppy. Hold on, you're cutting out. You're in like a.
I'm in
No, you're cutting out. You're like in a dead zone, I guess.
okay,
Not
one
really.
second. So so the thing is can you hear me? Damn it.
Mm-hmm. I
You can
hear
hear
you. I
me?
don't see you that well, but I hear you. Yeah, I hear
Oh,
you. I
okay.
just don't see you that well.
So I'll get into a better area and then I'll pull over.
Okay.
So I went from Muay Thai to MMA, and in one of my last MMA fights or 2 fights before I stopped doing MMA, the girl had better hands than me. So I was like, damn, I need to get into boxing. I need to get better boxing. She got me. Um, so I got into a boxing gym, Gil Martinez, over in Las Vegas. I love with the whole scene, the hands, just the skill level of boxers. I was getting outboxed and I was getting beat up by 13-year-olds. So I was like, and that
Wow.
wasn't happening. That wasn't happening in MMA. Like I had to take it easy on the kids when I was in MMA or in Muay Thai. But when I got to boxing, it was a whole nother level of footwork, head movement, angles, combinations. So I fell in love with boxing, and when I was training at Gil Martinez's, I got a call from David Feldman, and he's like, "Do you want to do bare knuckle?" And that's when I just went full boxing. I wish I would have started boxing because I believe that's something I adapted to better, and I'm better at than
Yeah.
Muay
You you
Thai.
you look like a real like when I watch you, you look like a skilled boxer, like a world
Yeah.
champion level boxer. That's why.
Yeah.
Is there more money in bare knuckle than boxing?
No.
No. No.
No, there's more money in boxing right now at this moment, and it matters, I guess, on your following. So if I came in from the UFC with the UFC following, I'd be making more money. So it's all following. It's the same thing in boxing, though. It's your popularity. You know, if you were in the Olympics, all that matters for what you're going to be paid. It's
Right.
kind of the same thing, but more in bare knuckle. It's more of your numbers right now.
Right. Right. Have you sparred any world champion boxers
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you talk about?
Michaela Mayers, I spar with her. Um,
Uh, uh,
uh, Jamie Mitchell. I think, I
yeah, I
don't
know
know if she's a world
she
champion.
is. I know
Yeah,
she is. She's from California.
yeah, she's actually in Vegas.
She's from California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know Jamie. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I spar a lot of great boxers. I don't spar women for the most part, and I might be changing that a little
You
bit
don't.
because I want to.
You
Huh?
don't
Don't?
spar women.
No,
Why not?
because I never win the men,
Mm-hmm.
and my psychology behind that is I never win, so I'm always thinking I got to be better. I'm always trying to keep up. I'm always trying to catch up. They're always going to be faster, stronger, have more stamina, endurance. So I'm never good enough. So my psyche makes me train like I I'm the beginning again. I feel like if I start to spar with women and I see I'm dominant, then I'm going to get a big head or
Right.
start getting, you know what I mean? So I found that for me that's been beneficial. It's a little hard on the psyche, because I'm never winning, but at the same time, I know what it's doing for me in the ring when I go spar my opponents.
Right. 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 Wow. Okay. I mean, that's so. Is there any possibility of you going into actual boxing? Or are you going to stick to bare knuckle?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see how my body's holding up. I feel great right now, and I take pretty good care of myself. So, I'm just trying to make sure, like the Bernard Hopkins, he went later in his career, and he just expressed how much he took care of himself. And that's how he got the longevity and who he was at his age. So I just watch like older fighters and like ones that were successful, the few that are, and I kind of try to mimic what they do in their personal lives so I can keep up and stay here as long as I can.
Yeah. I mean, one thing about you too is you look like you're all natural,
Yeah,
which I really like. You know what I mean? That's a great example for other people to see other
right.
fighters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I've always been a big thing on because where I come from, with drinking, smoking weed, doing all this stuff. So I feel like coming into the sport and starting another drug, it's just, it goes against what this sport did for me and
Right.
what fighting does for me and the discipline and stuff like that.
Would you say that most other women are on PEDs in your country?
I think a lot of, I feel like, I don't know, some people are genetically great.
Right.
Some women have a lot of muscle, but I feel like when you have a lot of muscle, like as a female, the way I work out and the nutrition I have and the nutritionist I pay for, I don't even look like
Right.
that. And I'm like, dude, I am super disciplined. I've been training my butt off forever, and I can't even get that. Like I'll have abs like when I get to like a few weeks out, 3-4 weeks out, but some people are genetically not like that. So I can't really say how many are on it, who isn't, who is. Do I think a lot are? Yeah. I think about 70% probably. 70-80%, especially at the top level, the highest level.
Right.
But I feel like their careers are short.
Yeah.
I've been doing this a long time and I'm still alive, and I don't have serious injuries. And I think people that are on that as well, they push past a certain level that their bodies are not supposed to, so they always get injured and injured and injured.
Right.
And because I'm natural, I can only push myself so far before I'm like, oh, I'm dead. And that's what your body's telling you to stop before injury happens, etc.
Right. Well, I mean, how much longer in the sport do you see yourself?
I think 2-3 years.
2 or 3? Okay. And what would be your goal to reach? What would be
I wanna fight Amanda Serrano. That's like a big goal of mine.
In boxing, not bare knuckle.
I want both. I want her to come to me, and I want to go to her. I want us to be okay. You come to Bareknuckle, I'll go to you. I think.
Do you think she would do that?
About 3 years ago, we were talking back and forth, I think, on Twitter, and she's like, "Show me the money." So, I mean, I know she likes to do everything. She's a true warrior, and she likes to test herself. So she's done MMA, she's done boxing, and I think she'd be open to it. But I don't know. I don't know if she's hungry like that anymore.
Well,
because
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, so educate me here. So the difference between boxing and bare knuckle is just you guys can hold and hit, right? Everything else is the same?
So everything's the same except we have to be active though. I can clinch you and punch, or punch to the body. As long as we're active, it's legal. That's the only thing. But that's a big difference because they are not used to that, and they hate, like, pure boxers do not like their head being pushed down. It's just.
Oh, so you could push the head down too.
I could bring your head down then. I can control you. And I have a Muay Thai background, so I'm natural at it.
Okay. Yeah, that's Claressa Shields did an MMA, a couple, right, and lost one, right?
Yeah, I don't know if she lost. I thought she won.
She won one, then she lost the second one.
Oh, okay. Did she get submitted?
I don't remember. I just remember being like, well, what do you expect? It's not what you do.
Right.
You need a little more experience before,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so Amanda Serrano is your. I mean, I hope that happens. You think there's a real possibility of that happening?
I mean, I never thought I'd be a world champion in bare knuckle.
Right.
So, I mean, anything's possible. I dream big and I shoot for the stars. I can only try.
Who are the other female boxing champions that would be around your weight?
Huh?
Who are the other female boxing champions who would be around your weight class?
Well, Alicia, right? Isn't she 135, 130 or something? 132?
Well, Baumgartner?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think so.
Yeah, I think she's like I mean, that's my weight class. She's an amazing fighter too. Let's see. I mean, the big one I want is Serrano. I love, she doesn't even have a cell phone. She doesn't keep a cell phone. She, like,
Really?
The focus level on her, I would have to, yeah. I would have to bring myself to a whole nother level, and that's what I want to be. When I fight somebody, I want to have to grow myself. I don't want to be like, oh, okay, this is an easy fight. I
Right.
just have to do bare minimum, you know.
Right. Right.
Or
Right.
I want someone to be like light fire under me and be like, okay, this person can like knock you out in any moment, you know.
Right. Yeah, man. I think that'd be great. I hope it happens. You know.
Yeah.
I think for her it'd probably be real risky. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Depending on where she's at, like how she, you know, what she wants to do, you know, for herself and test herself, you know,
Right.
that's what it comes down to. It would basically be her having fun, you know,
Right.
seeing if she could do it, and it would be great for her, of course, to go up against another world champion.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. Be able to break through into a different platform,
Yeah.
or different discipline. So let me ask you this: the big fight, July 29th, Crawford Spence. Who
Yeah.
do you have? Who do you got?
Man, those guys, I don't have. Those two, I don't know. I honestly can't say. What do you think?
I'm with you. At first, I was leaning towards Crawford,
Yeah.
but then, and I'm cool with Derek James. I'm cool with Spence's trainer. And then when I saw the size difference, I was like, hmm. Now
Yeah.
size only matters in boxing if you know how to use it. But
True.
Spence does know how to use it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm with you.
I don't
50,
know.
like how?
Oh.
Yeah,
It could go either way.
yeah.
That's what I think. I think it could go either way. There's so many things that offset each other that I'm like, I can't. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna bet on it. That's for sure.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah. Right down the middle. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a knockout. I feel like both their wills are too strong.
Yeah. And it's this is too big. It's too big, and this is legacy stuff. So yeah, I don't see anybody getting. I don't see early finishes anywhere
No.
either.
So do you follow boxing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think what do you think about Boots Ennis? Do you think he could take on the winner?
I don't know him. I follow boxing, but I don't know everybody.
Oh, okay.
I don't know everybody.
Boots Ennis, his name is Jerron Ennis, but his nickname is Boots. He is the next guy at that weight class.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. You should look him up. He's
Okay, I will.
very. He kind of fights like he's a mix of Spence and Crawford balled up into one.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta check him out.
He's tall. He switch hits.
Wow.
Mean. You young guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should check him out. Yeah. So when is your next fight?
I think October, November. I'm just waiting on word from David, and they got some plans for me, so they know they got some in the works, but I'm not sure exactly what date.
And what's the most people that you've ever fought in front of? How many?
This is my amateur career. I think it was in Las Vegas when Tough Enough. It was an MMA show. Tough Enough
Okay.
puts on at the UNLV stadium, and it was like I think it was my first fight too. I think my biggest fight was my first fight, and it's free to everybody in Vegas. They do one show a year that's free to everybody, so it was packed.
Oh wow.
And I think that's my biggest one. I think.
How many were there? You think?
I don't remember. I got to get the numbers. I'll get the numbers on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious. Like, the one thing that struck me from the Bareknuckle was the ring seems pretty big.
It's big. I think it's bigger. I think it's as big as the UFC cage.
It is, and it's a complete circle.
Yeah.
So, like, people who don't know, but boxing was made a square because it forced people to fight more. Whereas there's a circle, you can move, and there can be less action.
Yeah, I saw a question on there. I do know jiu-jitsu. I know wrestling. I know Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing. I've studied it all. And my girl just looked it up. It was 14,000 people.
Wow.
It's the most. Yeah.
Wow.
And that was my first fight.
Holy shit.
So like me like when I went that was my first MMA fight. I'm sorry. But
Uh-huh.
I did Muay Thai before then, but I've never seen anybody that big. I've never had anything, I don't think, that big since then. But since then, like when I walk into like events, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be big, and I'll see it, and I'm like, I just go back to that time, and it doesn't bug me anymore.
Right. Right.
Or make me like nervous.
Right. Right. So now, on average, how many people do you think attend your fight?
Average.
Huh?
About 5 to 6. Probably about really about 5 to 6, I guess, 1,000.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are the fights mostly in Vegas, or are they all over?
No, it's not legal in Vegas yet. We're more south, southeast. Well, we're getting Midwest. And we're west, Arizona, Colorado. It, uh, I think we're legal in 30 states now. So we're not. We still got 20 states to go.
Oh, so it's still illegal in some states?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Why?
The commission and everybody not passing it yet. So they're still, they're still. It's like the MMA thing. Remember when people didn't want MMA to come in, and then it blew up. It's the same thing with bare knuckle. That's where we're at.
Is there a 3 knockdown rule?
No, there's no knockdown.
In 1 round.
Three knockdowns and one round you're done. But there's not a 3.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
In 1 round. Okay.
Yeah, in boxing it's the same thing.
Okay.
There's 3 knockdown rule. Okay, because I mean that's interesting. That's crazy. I didn't realize that it wasn't sanctioned in a bunch of different states.
Yeah.
So I guess. Well,
Yep.
I mean it'll get there because it's really the same thing as boxing. And boxing's allowed,
Yeah, I think so. It's growing super fast. A lot of people love it when they watch it. They're like, "Whoa, we don't want to watch that." They watch it and they're like, "Whoa, we're hooked." And then with the characters we have, like the personalities we have, we're all pretty dope. So, and we're very friendly. We like to. A lot of us talk to our fans when we're there. We're out there in the crowd with everybody, chilling, having a good time, and that's not very common.
Right. Yeah, a friend of mine who's a Paulie Malignaggi, who's also was a champion. He did a bare knuckle fight a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I forgot who he fought, but he was all fucked up afterward.
Yeah. He was a little messed up. But that's
the
difference. People, especially coming from boxing, because I know when I train with my boxing coaches, they're just like, they want me to crack, and I'm like, bro, I have to learn here to hold my power. Boom, 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 crack. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be cracking every punch. So that's where I've had some, it's hard for also the boxing coaching minds to adjust. And it's a different defense. It's a different approach. You can't just take one to give one. You have to be extreme. I'm really big on my defense. I like to practice my defense a lot. I like a lot of parrying and just like arm blocks. You know what I mean? I like coming here.
right.
I don't want to be here. And they want me here. They're like, put your hands up to your face. I'm like, no. I want to keep my distance. If I can keep my distance, all I got to do is step back or parry you, And I'm gonna. My reflexes are great, so it works for me. I don't know. I don't want to block here because you can just sneak around.
Okay.
So
you keep it farther from your face?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. So when you spar, do you have headgear or do you go bare?
Oh no, headgear. Everything's the same as boxing.
It is. Just the actual. So you don't have any sparring that's simulating what the fight will be like?
Absolutely not.
I
I would be too damaged.
That's true.
I would be way too damaged.
So is it a little weird though, feeling those bare fists for the first time, like after a whole camp of sparring with gloves and headgear?
Well, the only thing I'm doing in my mind while I'm sparring and doing my stuff, I'm keeping in mind that I don't have that much space. So I try to keep everything tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, as in, like reminding myself that it's not a big glove. Those are the little things you have to really be aware of and just conscious of.
Yeah.
And I'm just conscious of how the gloves, because even in my my third fight, I I came here, the punch came right over. You know, it came right and it dropped me. So I was used to it. You know, if the glove will, even if it lands, it's gonna land up here. It's not gonna be. You're gonna take some off it, or it's gonna come here. It's only gonna be half the punch.
Right.
But bare knuckles, like I said, I'm learning as I go, and that's what we're all pretty much doing right now is kind of learning as we go.
Right.
The the intricacies of bare knuckle, you're only gonna find out by experience and over time. You know,
Right.
you could
Right.
assume, oh yeah, I could do a bare knuckle fight. Then these guys go in there and they're like, whoa, it's different.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah. No, I mean, I know.
2-minute rounds for us all. So it's not just
Oh.
male and female. So you got to work fast as well.
Right. Right. No, I mean, I've seen myself when I wear different size gloves, you got to adjust the punch because you got to go a little further or pull it back a little more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can imagine with no glove how much you got to adjust it. Yeah.
Yeah, but your hands are faster.
Yeah, they feel light as hell, right?
Yeah, they feel very light, and that's why I like to spar in 16s too.
Yeah.
But I practice. Like I'll do pads with my little gloves, and I'll spar in my 16s just so they're heavier. But I'll do bag work as well, so I get used to the 16s, the weight, so I don't get as tired in sparring as well.
Right. But I guess also the same could be said for the defense. When you have gloves and headgear on, you're picking off way more shots than when you're bare.
Oh yeah, way more.
Yeah.
So much easier, dude. And when you're pairing with your palms, it
Oh.
hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, your hands are probably all bruised up.
Yeah.
Huh?
If it's a good puncher in front of me.
Right. Right. Well, look, man. Thanks for talking to me. I respect what you do, and I want to see you get that fight with Serrano.
Yeah, me too, man. I hope so. I'm gonna keep talking about it, manifest it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's talk again maybe after the Spence Crawford fight.
All right. Thank you for having me on.
Of course.
All right.
Later.